What's up, guys? Iceman here. Welcome to the Diablo Research Institution. Appreciate y'all for coming by. Like the video if you will, subscribe to the page, and stab the bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And blessings to my patrons. May you have many wives. Those who support the videos, links in the description below. So, what we have here now is one of the most godly cold sorceresses you have ever seen, right? Now, this one has new things. What's that new thing, Iceman? Well, it's a Sunder charm. Iceman, that's not new. That's like 2 or 3 years old. Well, yeah, but it's new to D2R in terms of D2R standards, because beyond that, like, nothing's new. So yeah, we have a new charm, right? It's the Cold Rupture Sunder, and that helps extensively in places like the Chaos Sanctuary, where you have the Oblivion Knights, for example, whose cold immunity is not broken by items like Infinity. All right, now we can finally break that shit. And this is going to be something else, all right? We have a new helm as well. New for D2R anyway. It's called Cure, Shale, Io, Tell runes. Level 1 cleansing aura when equipped, which is going to be quite nice in the Chaos Sanctuary against things like Decrepify, for example, which is really going to slow you down in your merc as well. So we're going to get rid of that shit fast. Insight. We're not going Infinity. We're just screwing around here with Insight because I think this might be a good way to go. You're going to see why in just a minute here. We have Chains of Honor as well to get some life leech on the Mercenary. So I generally don't play too much Sorceress, but I know a lot of you guys do. And I wanted to give this a shot. And it actually looks pretty cool. You know I criticize the looks of D2R often, but with the helmet on, the face mask covered on and all that, I mean, she looks, she looks kind of cool with this outfit, I would say. Maybe we can zoom in a little bit. There's the old school look, which I actually like more. But then we have the D2R look. And yeah, with the face mask on and all this other shit, she looks pretty cool, right? Pretty badass. The nice helm, the Nightwing's veil, and there's nothing in it. So let's put a perfect facet in there. Let's see how much damage that adds. So in this video, I'm going to use Frozen Orb. All right, I know Blizzard is better, it does more damage, basically. This thing, but Frozen Orb can kill a little faster if you have it on low player count and if you're doing pretty good damage. So we're just going to mess around with that. I just love Frozen Orb, how it covers the whole damn screen with ice shards, and it just keeps hitting, Well, so does Blizzard, but Frozen Orb misses less, and it's a bit more efficient for like speed farming, I would say. So it's 1252 damage to 1306 damage. Cold length 51 seconds. Are you kidding me? Holy shit. And a cast delay of 1 second. So let's see how much a cold facet adds to that. So we're at 1306, and now we are at 1351, so barely a damn thing. But that's fine. We're gonna pop the shit in there anyway, just for the hell of it. I mean, we are piercing a bit more, so let's see what the cold pierce is. With cold mastery, it's negative 235%, and I believe after like 130%, it's pretty much useless, or it has vastly diminishing returns, so you don't really have to max it out. But I maxed it out anyway, so there we have it. Cold mastery maxed out. And Frozen Orb only has 1 synergy, which is Ice Bolt, only gives 2% cold damage per level. So after that, I decided, well, of course, I put 1 into Teleport, 1 into Warmth, and from there I decided to put some into Thunderstorm, just for the hell of it. So we have Thunderstorm here, and it's going 2144 to 2684 damage, radius 11.3 yards. How often does it zap? Probably not very often, but we're going to find out here. Duration over 1,000 seconds. And I put the rest into Lightning Mastery, so I have that at 31 right now. Base level of 13. So it's going to be a pretty interesting build. And we're going to start off in the Frigid Highlands, because this is where innate cold immunes are. So it really tests how well I can destroy them after piercing or breaking, rather, their cold immunity. Here's the gear. Something really interesting here. And I've actually found one of these before. All right, let me know if you guys have ever found one of these. It's super rare. I found one time, and it might have been in Project Diablo 2. But it's a Death's fathom. Actually, I think it was D2R. What a hog of an item this is. It's a dimensional shard. So this thing gives 3 to sorcerer skill levels, 20% faster caster rate, 30% to cold skill damage is what it maxes out. I think it's 20 to 30. So this one gave 30, and then I added the facet for 35. Lightning res at max can give 40. Fire res at max can give 40, which is actually very, very helpful, because sometimes you're suffering a little bit with res on the sorceress, and there we have it. You get 40 for like the most important ones, I would say, lightning and fire. And how much damage does that add? Does 3 to cold skills add along with 35 cold skill damage? Let's take a look here. So at 1396 Frozen Orb, and now without it, we're at only 1,000. Holy shit. Are you kidding me? Okay, so it adds a little bit, you know? I mean, maybe not a ton actually, but with Frozen Orb, you're not working with a lot of damage. So really, small increments go a long way because it just hits so frequently. So this might be okay. We'll see. I would like to compare this to Heart of the Oak or something, just for the hell of it. But let's just go this route for now. And then we have Nightwing's Veil, 2 to cold skills, 20% to cold skill damage. So there we have it. We're at 1157 without it and 1396 with it. So just a pretty cool cold helm. Gives some cold absorb, which helps a little bit. Some dex, which helps with your block just a little bit. Half freeze duration. Maybe it should give cannot be frozen. I don't think that'd be overkill, but it doesn't. So half freeze duration is better than nothing. In fact, I don't have cannot be frozen on this character, so it's going to help to an extent. And I can't quite remember. Does being chilled affect your cast rate still? It did for the longest time. Well, actually, it didn't for the longest time, but in Project Diablo 2, they made it that it did to make it a bit more challenging. So you do need cannot be frozen if you want to be optimal. But in D2R, I can't quite recall if they did that or not. If cannot be frozen really matters when you're casting spells or not. Of course, it slows down when you're running, but it's a sorceress. You teleport a lot, so it doesn't matter all that much anyway. But yeah, that's kind of impactful if it slows down your cast frames. Let me know in the comments if any of you guys know. Let's link a Reddit post or some shit so we can verify that. Mara's amulet, just the way I decided to go here. I mean, it's pretty damn good. I guess it's not needed for the res, except for the cold. But I could have went a different route, apparently. But this is what I did. I mean, maybe even Tal's amulet for some mana in life. Then you have Spirit Shield, a perfect 35. FCR, which I don't really need. But I have Alder's Boots, just for the hell of it. I guess I could have put on the Meryl Walk ones for Cannot Be Frozen, but I went that route. SOJ, Arachnid Mesh, and a Chains of Honor for the Resists, which I think I kind of needed. So yeah, the Resists are pretty good. And there's my mana, 775 without SOJ, 914 with it. So let's cast Thunderstorm. Then I do have some static. I do have telekinesis. All right, let's go after now. Here's the cold immunes right here. Let's see how well. Oh my god. Oh my god! Look at the light. Look at the lightning storm. Ooh. Look at the thunderstorm. Holy shit. All right, so there we go. And I'm at the 75 cast frame breakpoint. I didn't quite get to the 105. And even with Mage Fist, I wouldn't get there, so I decided to go Frostburn so I can get some more mana. All right, so as you can see here, it is a bit of a spiritual journey, trying to use Frozen Orb. You know, I mean, a lot of you guys know Blizzard is just crazy amounts of damage when you start pumping it up, especially with, you know, maxed out Cold Mastery or whatever, or up to 130 Pierce. And then if you add cold skill damage, Blizzard is just ridiculous. And even like even on this character, only 1 point into it, it's already doing more damage than Frozen Orb, and I have only one of its synergies maxed here. And I only have 1 point into Blizzard. So Blizzard is damn good, and I would like to test that out. But now, here, let's mess around in the Darkwood for just a moment, but we're going to go to the Chaos Sanctuary and experiment some there. So let's go after the Fallens and all the other little trash things that I like to kill, just for the fun of it. Look at that. Just this is kind of why I like Frozen Orb. You can teleport around and just kill shit so fast. I mean, it's not fast like a Novasork or something. So it's actually not that fast, but But it does cover the screen. It hits like every time, basically. Unlike Blizzard, which sometimes you're missing shit, you know. I mean, that does annoy me about Blizzard, is how it does miss a lot. I think that its hit AoE window should be a bit larger per like Blizzard Shard or whatever you call them. But that's just not the case, so anyway. All right, let's put this to the test now. Let's see how well it can kill Satan, because I really don't know what to expect here. And then, let's take a look at my stats. Let's see what the Cold Pierce is like. So as you can see, I have 75 faster cast rate. I think the breakpoint was like 65 or something. The next is 105. So anything beyond that, 60, whatever it was, I'm good to go. And there's no difference. So I have plus 55% to cold skill damage on this character. And a massive negative 245% to enemy cold resistance. So pretty damn crazy there. Pretty high Pierce. Again, I think it might be useless after 130 or so, but let me know in the comments if you guys can help me verify that. All right, so here's kind of where it begins, is these guys are never cold immune. And as you can see here, it does a pretty damn good job. And these things, I expected, it's going to just obliterate the Wraiths, the Ghost thingies, it's going to destroy them. The Morphines as well, they're not innate cold immunes. They don't have a ton of cold res. Now, what are those spider-like thingies that sometimes you find here in the Chaos Sanctuary. They look like the Mutos from Godzilla. If you guys know what those are, check those out. But they look kind of like those enemies. Some people call them spiders. I don't know. Oh, look at this. We found freaking Frostburns. 48, and mine's 48 as well. Holy shit. Let's just put these ones on, just for style points. Ones that I just found. And yeah, they're always 40% increased maximum mana in D2R. So that's kind of how that is. In some mods, they vary. Like in PD2, they vary. But here, it's always 40%. Pretty cool gauntlets. I remember the first time I was playing D2 way back in the day. Way when this shit first came out. That was like one of the first uniques that I found. Well, maybe it wasn't one of the first, but I knew about it. My buddy found it. And I was like, holy shit, look at all the mana. He used it on his Barbarian. And it was just unheard of to see like damage on gloves, right? Not that it was that much, but back in the day, 1 to 6 went a lot further than what it does today because enemies had less health and all that. You're doing less damage overall. So it was pretty cool. And the enhanced damage aspect was unheard of on gloves. So, I mean, it's just... pretty epic, right? That was before like laying of hands and stuff, and some elite sets and all that, and elite uniques for that matter. It was before those as well. But yeah, Frostburns are pretty cool. All right, so these guys, it does a pretty good job against them. Here's the Oblivion Knight, for example, which are the ones I'm going to struggle with most here. As mentioned, those are the innate cold immunes. But with Sunder, we're all good to go. Unfortunately, you pierce the hell out of their resist beyond that. So, yeah, look at this. It does a pretty good job, I would say. Now, how would this look on Players 8? It'd be a real fucking pain in the ass. I know that. So I don't think I'd recommend it. Holy shit. Oh my god. So even with this, I mean, what level is this frickin' Frozen Over? It's level 44. Alright, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cold skill Grand Charms, and then I have Cold Rupture. And I have a Sorcerer's Torch. I have an Annie, alright? So, I mean, this character is decked out. Is this really the best way to go for Frozen Orb? I mean, maybe there's other things we could do. I guess I don't know if we need any more Cold Pierce. I don't think we do. I'm pretty sure it's, like, useless after a certain point, isn't it? Can't you only bring them under negative 100? I think that's what it is. And then if they're immune, they're generally like 130 or so. So that's why that 130 is like the threshold. Or if you have negative 130, then you pretty much max it out on their on piercing their resists. I think that's how it works. I'll have to look this shit up a little bit more. I mean, if that were the case, I didn't have to max Cold Mastery. And I could have pumped more into Thunderstorm Synergy, for example. Ooh, here we go. It's a cute little charm. 3 MF on that thing. But yeah, honestly, this is hideous. Like, I mean, Frozen Orb used to be pretty awesome. You guys remember that back in the day? Any of you boomers on here? You remember how it was back when this game was released? Frozen Orb was just awesome. And they might not have had the delay on it, where you could only cast one like every 1 second or whatever it is. Casting delay, yeah, 1 second. So the delays may be a bit much, but you could just blast these things and it would just destroy. And I remember in like PK games, you could get obliterated by, especially after Cold Mastery was introduced. Or is that always a thing? I don't quite remember. Yeah, was Cold Mastery always a thing? It might have been, actually. But there were times when this was a really good skill. But yeah, I know some of you guys still use it, and some of you favor it, but I mean, I'm a little surprised here. I would expect it to just do a little better. Let's take a look at the... So it's only on Players 1 difficulty, you see? I would have expected this to do a little better. I'm a bit disappointed, and that's why we have the research institution, so we can get to the bottom of all this shit. And I don't know if there's much we could do here. Let me know if there's something I should change about this build when you're just trying to go like a Frozen Orb build. Some couple it with like Hydra, for example, but I mean, Hydra, let's be honest, it sucks big you know what. You know, it really needs to be improved in D2R. As it is in other mods of the game, like Project Diablo 2, for example. Like the one that I play. I used to play Path of Diablo, but honestly, I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. I think it is. And they did a pretty damn good job back in the day, too. So there's that as well. But, yeah, a bit disappointed in this Frozen Orb. And we could static Satan, but let's just blast away. Oh, look at that. Oh, my God. It just obliterated him. Holy shit. That was amazing. And just to finish it off, let's see how well we fare in the Trav against the Council. Just a very popular magic find area right here. So here we go. Let's cast a couple in there. And these guys, generally, Cold does well against them. Almost got killed there. Now, I didn't have Infinity, but... is that needed? I don't think it is. I mean, again, I'm piercing the shit out of their cold res, you know? We don't need it to break it, obviously, because it's already broken with a Sunder. So I don't think it would help that much. I'm gonna have to look into it. I will do a video if it seems like it would, but I just don't know if Infinity is gonna do shit. But let me know in the comments if you guys have any insight on this build. What would you change? Would Infinity help it? I mean, again, look at this. We're freaking negative 245% enemy cold res. If you have Infinity on your Merc, it's gonna, you know, what does it do? It gives about negative 60-some% enemy cold res, right? So, I don't know if that's gonna do shit. Alright? But let me know in the comments your thoughts are on that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Like this video if you will, and peace be with you.